Okay. We got 5 on the air. So while we're waiting for others to appear, please, those that are on right now, let us know. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Thumbs up is a perfect indication. Let me know if you see a thumbs up.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
okay. All right. Thank you. Greetings, Sister Cheryl. Ramadan Mubarak. Gullah Jack. Salam to Awande in Maryland. Thank you for that confirmation. Greetings, peace, and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, the residential tourists, 85 to Africa, broadcasting, live stream right here in the wonderful, most beautiful Nairobi, Kenya. All right. I think we have some excitement, you know, for this. Now, listen, we may not have a lot of what was it, gas to keep us moving because as we have already indicated by our greeting, that is Ramadan. So when that sun hits, woo. Anyway, we're just going to be moved by the spirit, moved by the spirit. So we got Brother Gerald's on. All right, Brother Gerald, behave, brother.
Little Gerald been acting up
Happy
all week.
Ramadan. Thank you, Brother Gerald. Appreciate it. We got Aquarius Gold, Ramadan Kareem. Brother Kenneth, thank you. Good to see these familiar names. Can't say faces, but it's good to see these familiar names. We really appreciate you tuning in.
It's a good thing because we see the names in the chat, but lately we've been meeting a lot of these
We
names in
have,
person.
man. We really have. It's been a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so you guys are serious about your repatriation, coming to Kenya, at least scoping. We met, I don't even know how many subscribers that have actually come to the continent so far, but it's been quite a few people.
So it seems like when we do meet, it seems like the malls are the places
Hmm.
that we always come in contact. For me, I'm gonna tell you what really becomes exciting for me. All of it's exciting when we meet a subscriber or a viewer. All of it's very exciting. But when we come across an actual Kenyan, a local that's a subscriber, and they say, "Hey, man, we watch y'all." I mean, we've come across probably about the same amount of local Kenyan subscribers as we've had diasporas.
Hmm.
So it's always really, really good. That's really
We've
good.
had locals come up when we're just trying to get in the car, and I had one stop and was like, "Ah, me and my wife, we love y'all, we support y'all."
That's
And I'm like,
beautiful, man.
"Wow." He
That's
walking down the street, he met a lady that
well. I met her. She was doing her, her walk. She's a beautiful sister. She's a local. Just in a brief moment, about 15 minutes, we talked. She enlightened me. She educated me. She gave me some really good uh, backdrop information on Kenya and all of that good stuff. Met it. We were together. We met a sister. I think we said what last week. We may have mentioned it. Who's an attorney,
hmm
beautiful sister who identified us. But as we were exiting and leaving, someone else had come, which was I guess her friend,
hmm
and
She watch as well.
she said her husband. Really, she didn't really recognize me. She recognized my wife. That's what it didn't spark at first. She was like, "Hey, wait a minute, I know you. I know you guys."
And see, the thing is, the lawyer that we met, um, within hours, because of the circle that we have with repatriates and expats, and she, the type of lawyer that she is, immediately we plugged her in and gave her connections to our people
Mm.
because they need it. They're coming to Kenya, they're looking to do land, they're looking to do this and that. So immediately we got her business. So that's when we're saying we're bridging the gaps and we're trying to bring the communities together. Kenya and the locals have something that we need. and the repatriates and the diaspora, we have something that they need, and together we can bridge and build and become a UMA in a way, because we're
Yes.
helping each other.
Hmm.
You know, when we're recycling our dollars amongst us and the locals, we're building each other up. So that's one of the benefits and the greatness. And she said she's coming to the event next week. That's part of our
All right, here we
weekly
go. Here
recap.
we go. We got some important, yes, important announcement. All right.
So
Sprung that on
we are on the last final 7-day countdown to our first RT meetup here in Kenya. Actually, as a RT brand, this is our first in general. We're not going to talk about what we did with Ikawa Cafe because we that was under Ikawa Cafe. This is the first RT brand where we're actually bringing expats and repatriates together with locals to actually build and network, to learn from each other. But it's also a welcoming because we have a brother that just came in 2 days ago. We have people that's coming in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some of them just here to scout. Some of them came through a dealer's relocation services. So we will definitely be unveiling on our latest project. Hopefully, I haven't even asked their permission yet if they're watching. Um, but to unveil our latest project that I'm finally finished. Well, tomorrow I'll be finished with, and so you guys can see what we're doing here. We're not just asking you to come just to come. We're actually trying to help you to navigate into society here,
integrate.
integrate. And it's different. Like we have a brother that came in last week, but he didn't come through us. So when he came in, he was trying to utilize his banking systems and all kinds of stuff, and it wasn't going to work. And when you come through the relocation services, first thing we tell you guys, and we told you all on here as well, but you have to get your VPN, right? And having a VPN is not just so that you can watch TV, but so that you can actually use your bank account. Sometimes you can't even for us, we couldn't even log in our bank account. And now I can't log in the bank account unless I turn it off.
It's
But
crazy.
it's weird. Cash App, forget about it. If you don't have that VPN, you will not have access to your Cash
Cancel
App.
Christmas.
And that was the thing he thought he'll be able to use his
Yeah.
Cash App. Sorry, buddy. So there's things that you won't know, and locals can't tell you because this isn't their life. They don't have these weird things that we utilize in the States to on our daily lifestyle over here.
Right.
Locals can't tell you that. So it's cool to reach out to locals, of course. You want to learn more about your surroundings, your community, and so forth. But when you're dealing with how to navigate from the US to any African country, you want to find people that have done it, that can give you some kind of guidance, maybe some wisdom. If they can't, they know who to connect you with and how to make that happen because it's a different ballpark when you hit the continent.
And I think, you know, this is one of many reasons why it's so important that we come together. You know, we don't have to hang out or nothing like that, but we come together and be identified as a community so that when people come, you know, we know or you know or someone knows who to connect to or connect with. And you're not feeling alone, you're not lost, you're not out there, man. That's just like, because we've heard that from I believe the individual you're referring to. He was like, got here, he was like, he felt like, wow, I'm alone. So
Yeah.
it's refreshing, and I think that's good to go into some of that good news that you got, right?
Black in Africa said he's arriving in Kigali on Wednesday. That's fine. On Friday, you just take a 1 hour flight and come on over to Kenya.
Come on over.
Spend the weekend and go back to Kigali. It's less than $300. People do it all the time. So now what?
So the good news is, you said about, what did you say about what we have based on what we just talking about?
So the good news is that we are on our 7-day countdown. If you got,
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I wasn't done the good news. We,
All
we
right, go
just
ahead.
stopped right there. Our 7-day countdown.
We ain't on the
So
same page.
we do need to give our final numbers in tomorrow. So if you guys are planning to attend on Sunday, please go ahead and get your registration done. Let us know if maybe there's a situation and you're coming, but you can't do your registration, something, but send us a message so that we can know whatever the situation is, because we do need to turn in our numbers. But we also want to announce that we have a trip plan on the following day, on Monday. And where we're going is to the Kenyan historical site, which is where you have the earliest human remains recorded. And it's a distance, it's going to be a bus trip. We already have one van, it's already full. So we have another 14-passenger van. If we get that filled up, and we'll have two of them. But we're going there. But in the morning, we're going to Lake Magadi, which is,
She got that right.
and I'm told a lot of locals don't even know about this lake. It's a pink lake, all pink. It's beautiful. I've seen pink pelican, no, pink swans. What's the, not a pelican,
Flamingo.
flamingos and everything over there. But we're going to have a outing. Some will call it a picnic. I know in the States we don't say that word too much, but we're planning on doing that in the beginning and then going over to the Kenyan historical site. And we have a wonderful, wonderful guide that is one of the coordinators there at the site. They will be speaking on Sunday at our event. You will meet them on Sunday. And as you can see, we do our lives on Sunday. So that means what? Sunday live for next week will be
I guess we gonna
live in the
listen. Y'all know I'm a little handicapped when it comes to stuff, so I
we're
don't
gonna
know.
figure it out. We're gonna
I don't
figure it
even.
out.
I really don't know. We're gonna try.
We're gonna figure it out. But that means we're gonna be a little early next week because the event starts at 2 o'clock. So that will put y'all around 7, I think, in the States and earlier, but just watch it when you can because we have a special for those for the beginning. We have a special welcoming that we just really want to show everyone how to welcome repatriates and expats to the country. And I can't wait. I'm excited about that.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really wonderful. The help of Most High. So we're looking
Okay.
forward to it.
Black in Africa said he gonna do that. Listen, hit
All
us
right,
up
Black.
because I can help you. I can help you with your B&B for the weekend. If you need help with the getting the tickets, you want to take Kenya Airways, come directly to. And if you get it today, it shouldn't cost you no more than 2 something round trip. I promise you. But you're not going to want to go back to Rwanda. That's the problem. That's you're gonna be like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. So, but definitely come over, see your FOI brother. Let us show you the amazing Nairobi, and come join on that trip on Monday so you can see the earliest. We're just gonna have a
Love
great
the
time.
FOI. Love the
Yeah.
FOI. Can't wait.
So
Got one FOI
yeah,
here.
flamingos. Patricia said flamingos. Olduvai, Oregon. This is open to locals and expats. Anyone that want to join on the tour on the trip for Monday, it's only 3,000, and I think you can send it to the regular Mpesa, but text us and let us know who you are and that you're sending it for the trip. But that's available to both. We have on the first trip we have about 7 locals coming. I mean, on the first van. So, and they've never been there. They've never seen it. And to be able to share that moment with,
Right, right. That's a perfect bonding moment.
Mhm.
You know, at the same time, experiencing something new, fresh. You know, two different cultures together experiencing something for the first time. That's a beautiful foundation to build upon. So that's exciting.
Mhm.
That's really exciting.
Ron Banks said he's going to hang out with you.
Okay,
Y'all got a
brother
lot to
Ron.
talk about. And Noel Dixon, good morning, family. So yes,
Sister Noella, peace to you.
and so that's the updates. Again, we're going to be unveiling the new family that's coming this week. We're going to reveal the unit that we did for them for the relocation services, and
I got something really important I need to say. I need to share this with you all. All right? Really important. Please hit that like button.
Oh my God. Sister Cheryl, he took your job, huh?
Hit the like button, please. We will greatly appreciate it. That's very important. I'm telling you, it's really important.
He was here finding all kinds of gadgets this morning, I see.
No, this was already set in stone, just ready.
Okay, am I saying oh, you say Mpesa. What did I say? Mpesa. I don't
Yeah, you
say
say
I say M.
she got that glass barrel
I say the sound
South
of the
Jersey
M. M.
South Jersey.
M.
It's Mpesa.
Mpesa. So,
I don't know. I'm saying it wrong too, I guess.
no, she said you say M and then pesa.
Mpesa. All right. We gonna get it together.
So
All right, so that's is that it? That's pretty
that's
much
it.
it
That's
for
all
the
the
announcements.
recap. So let's get
Well,
into.
before we do, I skipped over the acknowledgement. I know we did the individual acknowledgments, but generally, of course, subscribers, viewers, we greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We don't take it lightly that you take a moment to tune in and check us out to hear what we have to say of our experience here on the continent right now here in Nairobi, Kenya. And we thank you so very much. We thank you for watching and commenting on some of the things that we're sharing as much as we can during the week. Um, and we, as we always say, we read the comments. We
Every
do.
single one.
We really just about everyone that whatever she misses, I get, and vice versa. And we really take heed to that. Now, with that being said, we'll
But
go in. Go ahead.
can I say something real quick
Yeah.
about April? It seems like more people coming in April than in March. I mean, there's a bunch of people coming in April. So I think we're going to have to do another meetup. Not as big as the one we're doing now, but we're going to have to do a meetup for April because there's too many people coming.
So we got somebody at Cape Town listening, Mrs. PLC,
Hmm.
Cape Town. Thank you.
Got my cousin on.
Miss Gail.
Hmm.
Oh wow. I'm sorry we missed you, Miss Gail, when you came. I'm sorry you got she got sick and
Yeah, but I know you had a good time
I'm
and I know you
sure.
want to come back.
So the fact that you guys, have our, best interests at heart. One of our subscribers, he's not on here yet. He was on last week and I acknowledged him and he uh through our Facebook. Listen to me, Kim. We got a Facebook page too. So go on, venture over to Facebook and join our Facebook and Instagram. I'll put the banner up. But he sent me, this was a few weeks ago, he sent us, I should say, um, a news, a coverage of what we're going to begin to talk about today. So we'll get to that. But right now, sweetie, go ahead and lead us into the meat.
Oh, the show.
All right. So we want to show you this. And then she's going to go ahead and she's going to, it's real quick. It's real quick. She's going to go ahead and then bring us on into our discussion.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath.
That's it.
That was quick. That was real quick. That was super quick. Did y'all catch that? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Enlighten us, sweetie.
So, we were asking, I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, we were asking, what is now? Why is there an urgency right now with people choosing to vacate, to get up out of the U.S., to relocate, to
migrate, relocate,
out
escape.
of there smoking? And apparently, he's been saying this on different not different platforms, but throughout his campaigning. I didn't know that. And it's pretty much, he was saying similar the last
Yeah,
time
his
on
first
his
go
last
round is,
when he tried to elect.
honestly, that man is crazy.
Yeah, so he was saying that then, but some reason this time people are saying they're feeling that kind of energy right now. They're feeling that it's going to be crazy chaos, whether he wins or lose. Something's about to shift, and they
Mhm.
want to get the heck up out of there. I understand that. I definitely understand that. What we're trying to figure out though, in your research, people are looking for countries that offer dual citizenship. And on that question, that point, my question is why? What is the point? What is the benefits? And why would that make you determine that's the place for you?
So I think, yeah, because I think we had one day we were just out and just raised it like so. Like, what is or what would be the benefit to become a citizen, specifically here in Kenya? Since we're here in Kenya, what is the benefit? But of course, there's other countries on the continent that other people that people are looking to become citizens. And is it for the sake of just saying, "Hey, I'm just done with America," or not done, but for the sake of a better word, I'm done with America, and I just want to live out the rest of my days in Africa, in an African country, or is there something enticing about citizenship in whatever prospective country that's on the continent? And I'm thinking, depending could determine whether or not it's good or not so good. Not so good, not in a negative sense, but it's like, okay, where is the advantage? Where's the advantage? So we want to kind of look into it. So,
Yeah. And you got my sister, Sharifa on.
Sister Sharifa,
We waiting for you to come. We know you're
salam
in love with
alaikum.
Senegal, but you need to come to Kenya real
Sister
quick.
Natasha's on too. Salam
Natasha's
alaikum.
on. She said she on CP time. That's okay. That's a little better than AP time. We were talking about the other day.
Yeah, we want to deal with that. We want to deal with that.
But so when we're doing our research and we're trying to figure out what are the benefits of having dual citizenship. I mean, people make a strong stance and a strong decision on a country that has dual citizenship. But what we fail to realize that you have one of the strongest passports in the world. Dual citizenship is only beneficial for those that need an extra passport to get into other countries, is what I'm reading. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can let me know. Because even if you're a citizen of a country, if you're a foreign national, even though you have citizenship, it doesn't change the type of land that you can buy. If it's a country that only also offers leasehold and freehold estates, it doesn't change the type of house you can get. I don't know what the benefit is. There's a lot of cons. If you have dual citizenship and you're trying to work, you can have taxation in both countries.
Right.
You can have responsibilities in both countries as a citizen, but unless you're denouncing your citizenship, which isn't wise to do, it does make it confusing for the embassy of protection for you. If you have dual citizenship, is what I'm told. It could be easier for them to say, you need to go to that country's government for protection of whatever that case may be, since you have dual citizenship. So I'm trying to understand, because a lot of us, when we get over into these different countries, and particularly Africa, we fight for citizenship. We fight to be acknowledged that we've been here for a certain amount of years, and we want to have the same equal rights as all the citizens here. We want to have the same whatever. And we're just trying to figure out why. And is that something that we really, really need to push?
So, I mean, I think it's really something to consider in thinking about. There is, as I mentioned, was an article. I have to pull it up. I forget the source, but I have it anyway. There is with I guess it was early February, mid February, where they were discussing this particular brother who is an American citizen, who has been and continues to fight for his citizenship, specifically here in Kenya. All right. So it reads as such: an African American has moved to court seeking to be recognized as a Kenyan citizen, saying he has inalienable right to return to his motherland and ancestral home, Africa. Okay. He says that cognizant of his roots and heritage in the African continent, he visited Kenya briefly for the first time in 2003 and later returned in 2008, and ever since has found solace, warmth, and comfort, albeit as a foreigner, right? So now what's interesting, and I'll go into it. This is for me and for us, what we found interesting is because in his stance, right, it's not just citizenship through the regular registration to apply for citizenship. His position is as a diaspora with roots and heritage on the continent that I should get direct, immediate, without any of the red tape citizenship. And he's presenting this with support and supporting it by legal evidence from international law, right? And something that I didn't know about. I didn't know anything about this, and I'll read briefly what he's saying. And he's at a point of, I'm just these are just my words. He's at a point of a level of frustration as I'm understanding it because he has been presenting this over a course of a certain period of time, and he's been uh, uh, attempting to communicate with the director of immigration and citizen services here in Kenya, but to no avail, no response of any kind, according to this write up. And so, and I won't go into it at this moment, but it leaves me to question about some things as it relates to those of us who are looking to become citizens. We're looking for that, but is that look back the same? You follow what I'm saying?
Because I remember Mama One talking about her history in Ghana and how she's been there for decades, 2, 3 decades, I believe.
Mhm.
And it took almost 20 years to get them to acknowledge that she deserves citizenship and the right of abode. And she was one of the first ones to get it, but they haven't given it out. And that's because they were fighting for it and fighting for it and fighting for it. And that's when they finally got it. But even hearing countries say that we have the right to abode, yeah, you do have the right, but that don't mean they're going to give it to you.
I mean, think about it though. Like, really, so, and I could be totally to the left and completely wrong. However, what benefit is it to the country?
Yeah, because
What benefit is it to, just say Kenya, to grant a citizenship to us? I mean, what 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 benefit would there be? What's going on with my?
it got dark.
So I'm just wondering because it appears as though, because from what I was able to come up with by research, this is, as diasporas, there are three sets of definitions, right? Of three different sources. You have the World Bank that has a definition of a diaspora, and you have even the African Union definition, right? And we'll stop right there. There's a affinity diaspora defined by Scottish, but that's neither here nor there. But the African Union, 2 points of defining what a diaspora is. One point is very basic, consists of people of African origin. We ride on that, right? That's all
Mhm.
of us. But there's another where you're classified as a diaspora, which would say, well, you're the classification of a diaspora is those willing to contribute to the continent's development, which is good. And this is what most of us are wanting to do and attempting to do anyway. So my thought is if I become a citizen and if I'm and you're the country that I'm trying to become a citizen of, and that's another mouth to feed.
That's
That's
only
more.
if that country has a welfare system. That's most countries don't. So that's not another mouth to feed. That's a maybe that person might actually feed another mouth.
Okay, well, I beg to differ then. I beg your pardon. I could be, I'm just wondering. I'm just really trying to understand this thing here
Well,
and where it will be.
A-
A,
Aquarius Gold said dual citizenship will always offer a greater benefit to an individual than citizenship from a single country. Could you please elaborate?
dual citizenship will always offer a greater benefit to an individual than citizenship from a single country. Yeah, please give us some breakdown on that
Yeah,
so
because
I can better understand it. I mean, it's written very clearly. It's just I'm slow. So yeah, break that down for us.
Patricia said citizenship by descent is applicable, but it should start with citizenship of one country. I mean, I know for a lot of us coming from the diaspora, we want to be recognized as
African.
African. Some people they have to have that. They have to know that this is the land of my people. This is the country that I come from. So they have blood showing that they're from Senegal. They want to go to Senegal and get their dual citizenship. That's great. But what was the benefit?
So what brother? No, this is not. I'm sorry. What brother? This is what I was leading to. What brother Gerald just said. I was
Where?
attempting to lead
Okay.
to. When you get citizen, no, not this one. Hold on, wait. Let me find it. Let me find it. It's not this one. You made a comment. I just missed it. Here it is.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
when they tease you, make sure you
direct.
read this.
Okay. Direct citizenship has dangers to national security. Free permanent residency is better than citizenship. And when I
That's
was
what I
doing
was
my,
thinking.
I was thinking the same thing. It would seem to be better to be a permanent resident,
Hmm.
of which you have to be a permanent resident for 7 years
Before you,
continually before
hmm
you can even apply. Now, I won't guarantee you citizenship,
right.
but to apply for citizenship.
In
But
most countries, 10 years.
so it would seem though, this is what I'm thinking that it'd be better to be a permanent resident rather than a citizen because it seems like there's a
Hmm.
better benefit.
Yeah, because you still have the protections of your country, whatever that may be. And you still have, even when you're out of the country, whatever benefits that you might have in that country, Social Security, healthcare, international healthcare. Some might be on disability. Some might be on unemployment. Whatever the case may be, some might be getting pensions and 401s and all that stuff. That's because you worked for it as a US citizen, is yours, but go ahead and denounce the country. You don't get those benefits anymore. When you denounce, you're saying, I don't want anything to do with you.
Mm.
But if you have dual citizenship, which is cool, you have the benefits of your main country, but what is the benefit of having that citizenship in that new
In a
country?
new country.
Because you might be a citizen, but you're still a foreigner.
It ain't no
That don't
question.
change. You can tell locals all day long, listen, I'm one of you. I'm a Kenyan too. They like,
Listen,
You can show them your little card,
you can learn the language.
and eat the food.
No. Listen, you can learn the language of the people and be better identified as those people, better than not knowing the language and getting an actual legal citizenship. I'm learning that when you learn the language, this was in Rwanda too, but even here in Kenya, when you learn the language, man, there's a certain level of acceptance when you learn the language that they have for you. And my Kenyan family, correct me if I'm wrong, but this has been the experience. When you learn the language, it's like, hey, they feel and they give you that sense of oneness and togetherness and so forth and so on. So, but this here, let me see. You said
Right here,
Teasy?
yeah, one day, so I want to say
One
one day, Tizi. Heard from the local radio host that in the same manner Africa fights for the return of its artifacts, stolen ancient artifacts from the West, it should also claim its stolen ancient people
I raised that
and
briefly.
fight for us.
One, because it was in Ghana, I believe it
Yeah,
was.
when we're talking
And
about
it
Ghana.
really was, they stole it. They stole it. And they were loaning it back. It wasn't giving it back. It was a loan back. But it had all of this gold. It was, it was worth a lot of, money. And I, I raised that point. I said, wow, a big to do, which I'm not trying to downplay it because I'm sure it's a part of history and all of that there, but you have a whole people who were taken away, which is far greater than the gold, really the truth, that's in the earth there. But there's no fuss, man. There's no raising of concern about returning us back to our original landmass. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Thank you for raising that. But that ties right on into the mind and the perspective as we look forward to becoming a citizen. We have that wanting to become identified as the people of the country. But the question is, do the people want to accept us and identify with us as being the people? So it's a two-sided. So now going back real quickly to this brother here, which his struggles, it seems like, reading between the lines, that could be an issue. Now he says in his petition at the High Court in Mombasa, he is seeking a declaration that under the rules of international law and the Constitution, his right of return to his ancestral home and the choice of Kenya as his country of return is guaranteed and protected and ought to be protected by the state. So I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it, but this rules of international law and the Constitution, I wanted to see it with my own eyes. I hadn't been able to put my eyes on it and see it and see actually how it states and is read. But this is what he's standing on. And he's presented this according to, again, the write-up, he's presented this to no avail. It's fallen on, deaf ears or whatever. There's no reply, there's no
But,
follow-up or anything.
but this might be why Fitzroy Dacres, the crest. There are forces in Africa who not want the old African diaspora to return to the continent. They feel insecure.
Brother Fitzroy, I'm telling you, I'm not saying this really not to put anyone down, but I'm feeling that. I feel that. I've been feeling that over the course of time of certain discussions and topics that we have touched on and the responses from those, it made me feel pretty much what you just said. And again, it's causing me to wonder if maybe, there's no rush for the citizenship for us. And it's just you just raising these concerns or raising this here. So that's an interesting, take, and I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, to be jealous or insecure for a people that is your family, is your cousins, is your distant cousins that actually want to come and help and build is kind of crazy to me.
But look at what you just said though.
I don't know.
To say to come and help and build, that means that we've been afforded something. We've been afforded.
Just muscle.
No, I'm saying, and we have been. I mean, we've got the worst of it all. First of all, we got the worst of it. But as we talked about last week, we have a second sight. According to W.E.B. Du Bois, we have a second sight. We've lived among the oppressor. And so, in a sense, we were like the spook that sat by the door. We were able to get, although it be, albeit crumbs, but we were able to take those crumbs because we had to survive. We had to make a way. And we were able to build something. And we've gotten some benefits that even in America, we still need to operate with to build for ourselves as a community. But if we come here and that puts us at an advantage. That's like, I mean, when you think about it, somebody, well, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah. So I can see how that could be possible. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Aquarius Gold, she has elaborated. Dual citizenship provides more freedoms and latitude and choices for business expansion, taxes, or even a safe haven in times of political uncertainty. Overall, you can essentially be two people legally. More freedom and latitude and choices for business. So for most countries, we're just speak about Africa in general. Having a business visa has less weight than having if you are a citizen.
This is a very interesting, you know, I guess discussion to really to have. I mean, because it's like
Because we don't know.
we
We
don't
really
know. We
want to
really don't.
know why. Like so, and then most people, not most people, I don't know, but a lot of us that come that we have been meeting, people that are coming, they already have, um, except for us, most people that come have some kind of income that comes in, or they're still working remotely. They're not really coming to establish big businesses on the continent. Um, so if you're not looking to establish business, is there any other kind of benefit for having that citizenship? Um,
So, brother Abdullah, no, we understand. We understand that there are. That's not really the question. We understand that there are
yeah,
some African countries
there's
that give
about 14
citizenship.
of them. We know that.
We know that. That's not what we're stressing. What we're stressing is where lies the benefit of becoming a citizen. And even with these particular countries, the offering is Kenya offers the citizenship. Ghana offers it. I mean, there are many countries that offer it,
Hmm.
but how many of
Or they
us
have it on the
or
books.
have it on the books, but how many of us actually become citizens? We're dealing with this brother here who's in the high court because he's been at this for so long trying to be just to get a reply to become to see how this could take place, how he can become a citizen, albeit he's trying to do it in a way where it doesn't have to register because he's going according to international law and the Constitution, but also something I think that was also uh, stated and documented within the African Union as well, as it relates to those of us of the diaspora. And so, yeah, we know, but where is the benefit, and do they really want us to become citizens? Those are the questions.
And the question I have is, once you become citizen, then the country no longer gets your visa renewal
Right. It's a
fees.
whole economical.
They don't get
This is
the extra monies they get for you being a foreigner, the coming in and out of the country, that all of that money that you have to keep investing into the country just to be living in the country. If you don't have a residential visa, the country don't get anymore. So what is the benefit of them saying, yes, please come be a citizen here?
It's better to be not a citizen for them than to be a citizen. It just seems that way. It just seems, and I'm not really mad, but I'm just saying. So the petitioner holds a foreign certificate and has sued this brother Sirius has sued the cabinet secretary for Interior, Director General, Department of Immigration and Citizen Services, and the Attorney General. According to the petitioner, the choice of Kenya as his ancestral home is anchored in and informed by the provisions of the Abuja Proclamation. Correction, it wasn't African Union, the Abuja Proclamation. The proclamation is, quote, a declaration of the Pan African Conference on reparations for African enslavement, colonization, and neo-colonialization, end quote, which was sponsored by the African Union, held in Abuja, Nigeria in April of 1993. All right. So we got to find this Abuja Proclamation because according to it, again, a declaration of the Pan African Conference on Reparations for African Enslavement, Colonization, Neo-Colonization. So it's in writing somewhere. It's in writing somewhere that it's agreed upon that those of us of the diaspora should be entitled to this citizenship.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want it, I think if you want it, and people want it. You know, when we first started our research, we were looking for countries that had dual citizenship, and that's why we chose the four that we chose, as far as doing the countdown, which Ghana, Senegal, I think it was Tanzania at the time, and Rwanda.
That's a wrap for Tanzania. I don't think that's
Yeah,
happening.
not now, but then it was those four countries. So that was what sparked our research to start researching. Okay, how many years will it take? What can we do without having it? Blah blah blah. And so now, being on the continent for 3 years and understanding, okay, I see the benefit. We went to the park,
Mhm.
right? And it cost 600 shilling or bob for non-resident, us, which is equivalent to like $4 to get in. Resident, I think, was 300, and the citizen only 200. Mm-hmm.
It's the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the. But that's a good point because you
So
get some.
you pay for
You pay
less,
less.
right? So
Right.
without it, unless you have a residential visa, you're paying tourist costs for everything.
Mhm.
It's the same thing in Rwanda, resident, local, and they the tourist cost over there is twice the amount
Yeah.
for real. And then I don't remember seeing a breakdown like that in Tanzania, but I'm sure it's there because they get more money with the different tiers.
Right.
But even as a resident, you pay slightly a little bit more than a citizen.
And you're gonna pay a convenience fee.
Oh, at this particular part.
You gotta pay a
I
convenience.
said, "What's
It
the
was
convenience
minimal.
fee?" They was
But
like,
like
"I don't know."
he was like just anyway.
Hakuna Matata.
So Tezzy, I don't think the issue is the diaspora per se. Okay, hold on. It's that you have found us in the middle of developing a national philosophy. Although our lands and people are ancient, the concept of Kenya is young. I like that. That's really I like that. And I wouldn't have thought of that. I really would not have thought of that. That's enlightening, because I didn't. I'm thinking 19 was it 1963 independence, somewhere 1960. Correct me, Kenya family, when Kenya received its independence, and I'm thinking that I'm basing things off of just that understanding, but not realizing this here. And this is really very interesting. And even much like Rwanda, even though Rwanda has had its independence, but because they took that hit with the genocide, it's really truthfully almost like what you're saying here. It's like it's only 29 years old or young.
Hmm.
They have the whole revamping and the
The phoenix
restructuring.
ashes. It's like the phoenix bird, but it's
Right.
developing
It's
more
the
beautiful than it possibly. I don't want to say than it ever was because I don't know how it was back then, but it's redeveloping. Uh, Gail said, in great respect, when you even greet people in their language. What's sad is that we don't know each other's history. Same in Uganda, you wind up paying more.
Say, yes, ma'am.
Patricia said, I thought the Abuja Proclamation was about the payment of reparations by Western countries that enriches themselves with slavery.
It very well could be. And I'm going to look more into it. I'm
It,
going to look
if
more
someone
into,
can get their hand on it, can you email it to us? I mean,
please.
we don't know where it's listed at. If there's like a centralized, I know a lot of you guys are historians. If y'all can find it, please send it to us.
So this is it is what he's presenting, and even what you're presenting, may be portions of possibly. Um, it may be an entirety that we need to have a look at and just kind of see. But it's good to know that there's others that are familiar with this. We're not as knowledgeable. We're really not. I'm just basing off of here. So,
Yeah, Roland Hayes said is correct. We are trying to define citizenship via the colonial Kenyan construct.
okay.
Okay, Ron, he said at this point you need to change your name to residential citizens, not residential tourists.
I like that.
No, because you know what? We're not even we don't even want citizenship.
No, we're not going that route.
I mean, this is where we are. This is home. We love Kenya. Residency, yeah, we want that, of course. But citizenship is not something that we're even focused on. The whole world is ours. So this isn't what the young are saying now. Kenya's not, period. No, I said that wrong, but it's not the end for us. It's the foundation. It's going to be our foundational point, and we want to see more of the world. So we don't really want to have citizenship, not yet, not for us, but for those that want it. It shouldn't be. You know what's so tiresome for me, for Black people, for Black women, Black men in general, not just from America, is why it's like we have to fight for every single thing. We gotta fight for it. There's just no because you have this bloodline. No, because you're from the continent. No, because you've never been given reparations, or no, because you call us African Americans, but no one gives us the benefit of that first part, African, unless we fight for it.
Teach.
And it's like it's so tiresome. Why we gotta fight for every damn doggone thing? Everything. Just to be acknowledged, just to say, you said it yourself. Welcome home. This is your home. This is your country. These are your people. If I'm home, then I'm a citizen? Oh no. We need your money. We need you to keep paying to stay here. The airlines need you to fly in and out and pay all those traveler taxes or whatever it is. We need you to do that. But this is your home. No,
it doesn't add up.
The words and the actions have to be the same for it to be real.
Right. That's a good point. And you're right. Because even with the term African American, which implies dual in the term. So if I'm African, I have a nationality of Africa and I have a nationality of America. So this is why, very loosely do we use the term African American, because it's a bit lopsided because we barely have the benefits of the American citizenship, and there is no citizen benefit of Africa or being African. And so now, if I may digress just a bit, just to kind of give for us, we do have, in a sense, a sense of dual citizenship, because according to our faith in the community, being citizens or members of the Nation of Islam, then but living in America, we are a nation in a nation. And so we function as that. Islam not necessarily the religion, but more of the way of life. And there's a governance. We have a provisional constitution. We operate. We have laws.
But we're talking about a country.
I know, but listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Is that because the only thing that doesn't put us in that status, and this is going to the brother talking about residential citizenship, is because our perspective, based on our, belief system, is that as Black people, being original people, that there is really no place on the earth that we cannot claim because of our existence has been touched every corner of the globe. And so for us, whereas we don't necessarily seek to have citizenship in a particular, because our understanding is that we're global as a people. We're global as a people.
Cut it out.
A girl's acting up. And that's how we move about, in that we have a particular base that we'll operate from on this earth. Yet the desire is to be able to, it may not happen, but the desire is to be able to venture and explore and to experience the all parts, any part of the entire globe. And so we have a do. That's how I think. This is just me. And we
So, um, what we're talking about, going to a country that you feel like your bloodline is where you belong,
I
and
can say
asking for,
that. And even in America,
okay,
because 400
but we're talking
years,
about coming to Africa.
I understand that, sweetie. And please, acknowledge the fact that you are a citizen of the NOI. This is inevitable. We are that. We are citizens. So we function as such. And there's a benefit. There's benefits of us having that type of dual citizenship. Anyway, carry on.
Trina Weathersby, can someone please address my statement? Becoming a citizen for women may not be a good thing. No,
But
now
why?
keep in mind, no matter if you a citizen in another country or not, is a dual citizenship. You're still going to be considered a U.S. citizen. Just because you have citizenship in that other country doesn't take away the fact that you are a citizen of the US or wherever you're from. It's a dual citizenship. So whatever protections you have as a tourist, in a country, you're still going to have those same protections as having that citizenship there. Um, and regardless, most countries have a protection, African countries. When you talking about Middle East, most African countries, if you research correctly, you shouldn't pick one that don't have a good understanding of a female and treat female equally or with a good protection or laws for females. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about come if we didn't think that there was a protection or at least a respect for females in that particular country.
Mm.
But you got to do your own research. You have to, and researching not just YouTube, but go into these groups. Go, every country probably have a Facebook group for diaspora.
Kenya has a social media Facebook group. So
Yeah,
yeah, you can
there's a
go into
couple
it.
ones all over, and speak to actual expats that live in that country. Well, how do you feel about their laws? How do you feel safe? How do they treat women? One thing that we looked at when we decided on moving to Rwanda was I remember an Asian woman did a report on how safe she felt jogging at night in the streets in Kigali. And I don't know, they were runners and they were touring, but her favorite thing was because it's less traffic. They were run at night, and how safe she felt. These are things that we looked for because we were coming with two mamas, two young girls, me, that we needed to know that women were safe wherever we decided to go. Deborah Randolph was on,
Oh,
my friend
greetings,
Deborah.
Sister Kanaya. Just salam, sister. She just jumped on. Uh,
Let's see.
so Brother Ron makes a good point. Black people typically never use citizenship, more of family, clan, ethnic structures. Citizenship was a favored European social construct for accumulation of resources through colonization.
mm,
I can see that. I mean, I don't. This is why I try to stress. My wife don't really like that, but I try to stress the understanding of the fact that we are everywhere, and these that we are.
oh, I like that.
No, but what I'm saying is that this is this is a present day mindset that has been put in us to understand that we are original people, And these things that we are discussing, as Brother Ron has so beautifully said, these are European structures.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a time prior to the European coming on the scene that we couldn't. Just how you think the Bantu from here in East Africa got way over into West Africa? How does that happen? Because we understood that we could go anywhere we needed to go. We didn't have to have, of course, we respect the tribes and the lands. We would have that respect, I'm sure, but we didn't have to go through all of this stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do it. It wasn't that type of set. So we are suffering under a European way of being and existing. We try to fit ourselves into something that's not us. This is not our culture. This is not our way. Treat individuals, have laws of land, respect the law of land. You understand? Respect individuals within that land and operate in fairness, freedom, justice, equality.
Yeah.
We have that understanding and we operate from that. But anyway,
African Throne TV, Sierra Leone issues citizenship to Black Americans, but it seems most Black Americans don't like Sierra Leone. That's not true. Sierra Leone offers it if you can prove your DNA shows that you have a bloodline in Sierra Leone. Um, and that's where the difference come from. Some countries that offer the dual citizenship, you have to do a ancestry DNA test for that country, and then prove it to them, and then you can qualify to apply for citizenship. And we know that there's many different countries that offer it. Like we said, I think there's 14 African countries that offer it. Our question or our research today is why? Why is it something that one we put energy into trying to fight for, trying to make the country understand that we want to be a citizen, but why? What does it how does it help you on your journey is what I guess kind of what we're asking. Um,
I think, yeah, this is really a very interesting, and it has been in my mind for quite some time, and what we're getting is really good in the way of comments and education and perspectives is really good. But I think that I don't know, maybe that we're late to the party, but I don't know that this is something that many have really thought deep into and considered, because much like how you were saying, as diasporas, as Black people from America, we've never since our feet have left the shores and the soil of Africa, we have not had anything to be able to connect to. We had not had that. So we have with us that wanting to belong. We have with us wanting to be identified. We want to be accepted. And we understand that, we have been removed from our ancestral cultural customs and so forth and so on, not to our choosing, of course, uh, but it happened. But we're yearning that we could and live in a society, live in a cultural environment where we could be ourselves. But first, it starts with being identified and accepted. And so we're continuing. So I understand when wanting on the surface, wanting to be a citizen, because in it is saying that if I become a citizen now, I'm accepted. You've accepted me as a true African. You accepted me for being what I never relinquished. I never signed up to let go of my African origin. So I understand the significance of saying, hey, write me down as a citizen. But it's been misconstrued, I believe. I think there is, and a lot of it has to do with, not all of it has to do with that. Going back to Brother Ron and even someone else, mentioning how that whole colonialism that's messed us up, man. We all just jacked up because we have adopted this mindset that it don't even belong in our brains. It don't really belong in our brain.
Yeah. And a sister has said, well, first of all, we've been trying to figure this out. This is a sidetrack because we know that America has had the change, time zone change
Oh,
thing.
I'm sorry. All right, we back.
Okay, so
Sorry about that, family. I don't know. We got a little glitch.
we thought if we came on earlier here that it'll stay the regular time that we've always had you guys on. So did we throw it off
We
or
messed up on
we
that
don't know?
because I did have it at the time, like okay, 6 o'clock. What makes it 11 Eastern, 10 Central, what, and then Pacific,
Yeah,
Pacific. But we were just thinking that we were gonna confuse you guys, and we did. We confused.
we
So we
confused everything.
we
But y'all came on. We
we
see you,
apologize.
103 people.
We appreciate it. We
But
really do.
you know, we could talk long enough that eventually y'all gonna come on. So, Sierra Leone, Mubarak said Sierra Leone is going to make it difficult for diaspora to get citizenship because they notice diasporas aren't building any businesses in mass and use their citizenship to travel Africa. Mm.
Read that
So
again.
again, you're giving us citizenship just so that we can benefit the country, not because you recognize that we are stolen people from the country and that we deserve to have a easy passage back home. It's citizenship so that you can pour money, financial money into the country. Well, that's easy then, because some people, and you see that, you see the stars come and automatically they got citizenship. Automatically, you know they paid 250,000 or more
That's not right.
for
That's
you to
not
give them
fair.
citizenship, and they're all proud and excited. And I'm like, why? He probably will never even come back to this country. He just donated money to the country, but he gets automatic citizenship. But those that really, really want it, really love this country, that really, really been there for a long time, trying to acclimate, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
You're not worth enough.
And this I'm not sure if it's a brother or a sister, but this comment here in the first place, diasporas in the U.S. need to drop the use of BA, which I'm thinking is Black American, and to declare themselves to be an African. Black American signals to people as being non-African. The group needs an African name linguistically. So let me share something. So it kind of goes back to what we dealt with last week. We're dealing with culture and color consciousness that was imposed upon us. Again, it's about identity, which was taken from us. Our African everything was taken from us. The language, all of what you just said. Our names was taken, our language was taken, our culture was taken, everything. And as it was removed and taken away from us, a color consciousness was imposed upon us because we were made to believe, because of the pigmentation of our skin, that we were inferior. And the association of inferiority was associated with our color. There was a social construct in the American society that put the whiteness as a standard. And so our only identification was the color of our skin. And so we had to make it beneficial for us, benefit us, to be proud of the fact that our skin is melanated. Our skin is the dominant and not the recessive. That I could go, and me and my wife, we could produce a child that could be
White.
the dark to whatever, because wherever our DNA traces to
Mhm.
from our origin. So it would be beautiful to be able to adopt, and some of us have. But where's the recognition though? So I can all day call myself an African name and I can learn the language, but if I'm not benefiting from a cultural perspective, if I'm not identified as you would identify someone who was literally born, then where's the benefit? So we're missing here. We're missing something. We're crossing. We keep crossing. Somehow we just keep crossing. We can't align for some reason. And
And this is the thing, because once the live is over, then the other people jump on, not our loyal subscribers and watchers, but everybody else jump on. And so we hear a lot of, like I said, we read all the comments. And so the comments turn into, why y'all always complaining? Why y'all always want something for nothing? Why y'all always want to just come over here and take something and get something? And it's like, and I always ask the question, did you even watch the video? Because that's not what this is about. But on the same note, the point of what, for me, what I feel like we're trying to make is, if a country is actually saying welcome home, you are stolen people, we recognize you, we see you, welcome home. If that is true, if that's really how the country feels, really how the presidents feel, then why do you make us fight just for citizenship? When it doesn't change our rights, we're still a US citizen. It doesn't change our obligations. Even as a residency, you're still obligated, if you're making money here, to pay taxes here and in the States if it's over a certain amount. So why do you make us fight just to come home, like you said? And when I say fight, that might be financial dollars, it might be muscle, brain power, legalities, whatever the case may be. Why you don't make it so that we can come home with ease?
I like, that's wonderful, sweetie. And I like on that line what Shining Star states. Why can't the African nations do as the people in Israel did and brought back the citizens? The people all had to come under training and conditioning to set them up to live in the country as citizens. It makes sense because when you look at diasporas, right, there's two types. There's a voluntary and involuntary. There's three major groups that were fall under the involuntary. That would be Israel, that'd be Africa, of those of African origin, and Armenians, right? So of course, Babylonian, when it comes to Israel, took them captive, and Africa, the transatlantic slave trade, and then the Ottoman Empire as it relates to Armenians, right? So it seems out of the three, we're the only ones that have not been accepted back in a structured fashion as such, as is stated. Come back home. You've been away for 400 years, so I understand. I know that you don't know what's going down. However, we're going to help you. We're going to acclimate you. We're going to bring you into the society by providing you with what was taken away from you. Here, we're going to have a naming ceremony for you.
Mm.
We're going to name you according to however. And then we're going to make sure that you learn the customs, you learn the language, right? Now, granted, we know Israel has set up as a welfare state by the tax dollars of America, so they got the finances and the
Of the
money.
West in general.
So I understand it's a little different, whereas African nations don't necessarily have that. But but all of that is all inclusive as we deal with reparations. We
Mhm.
deal with all of that is all in that pot right there.
Yeah, you think about, if you're in, like, in the States, if you're in prison for a long time, 20 years, 30 years, and you're going back into the government or going back into society, they stop you in the halfway house,
Mm.
right? They start to try to maybe get you counseling or try to get you reacclimated to society here in the States. And I think a program like that, even for a country to say welcome home, but you have to go through maybe 4 weeks of classes of the laws of this land, how to acclimate to this land, some basic words in Swahili or whatever country it is of the land, learning some foods of the land, learning how to, they have learning some of the basic important things of some of the tribes that are here, because I've learned some stuff this week and I'm like, okay, There's a lot to know when you're going into the country. But after you get through those processes, then it should be okay. You are serious. This is something you really want, and therefore, even if you got to pay a small fee, okay, I understand a processing fee, a one-time integration fee, something of that nature. But at least take the steps to say we welcome you back. We want you home. This is your home, not just saying it with your mouth. Um, there was something I wanted to write up.
Chris, boy, my brother, said, I wonder how whites receive dual citizenship in African countries so easily.
Money.
But African Americans rarely stay in one African country for long, which makes it tricky for them to receive citizenship. That's a good question, though. I mean,
Money.
it's
Money
money.
talks. Money
Money.
talks. I mean, anytime you can come and pay a certain amount of money, oh, I think it was Emeritus or one of those beautiful islands. You could pay a certain amount of money. Passport Heavy did the video. Remember, he was trying to get the dual
Oh,
passport, and he had to pay. He could get a better passport if he pays a certain amount of money from this country. He can get their passport. It's crazy. Money talks. They don't care nothing about who you are, what you are. Your blood is where. If you have money, you can get citizenship there and get your little passport and whatever benefits that come with it.
And see, you know, it leads me to, I can't help but to really wonder, right?
See, the Kisi people.
Yeah, I saw this. I didn't even put it up there. I should, because if I do, they're gonna tear into you, brother.
Natasha already going. She already on them.
Will tear
But that's
into you.
exactly what I said. There's always that one person. Why are you always
There's,
complaining?
you know what? There was another. I totally missed in our acknowledgement. I totally forgot to acknowledge the agents.
The haters.
I forgot to acknowledge the agents that have been sent to make sure that they make the attempts to uh, cause disruption. All right, so we acknowledge you as well.
You said I started to think you're not as nice. I sure never told you I was nice. He calls me sweetie, and I don't understand. I know I'm not nice.
Oh my! I don't know who he's referring to, you or me. Probably.
Whoever he's like, y'all not nice. Y'all
You're not nice.
complain all the time. Y'all just want stuff.
Guess what? That's right. We're complaining. We're giving. This is an official complaint, and we guess what? We have a right to be able to do so because we are kidnapped Africans. And I say we're kidnapped Africans because there was when we go to if you go we haven't been there, but we understand that Ghana and Senegal, right? How is it that how is it that there is slave castles,
Mm.
humongous slave castles? It is a process that takes place to build such a structure. There's a process. It's not overnight. So there was planning involved, and there was collaboration, if you will. It had to have been collaboration with the ruling powers among these African countries in agreement with what took place to kidnap us, the local people, the lower class people who had no idea, who had no record, that had no realization that they were going to be taken away. We are descendants of these people. And so what we're complaining about is that it seems as though there's a potential existing mindset that exists to this day because it was all about gold. It was about currency. It was about money. It was about finance.
Trade.
And
'Cause
trade.
Even some, like we learned this week, that it wasn't just money.
But it was about an advancement for a
Right.
certain class of individuals to sell out the people so that they can get what they thought was going to be more gold that they were already that we already have. We have in Africa, we have everything. We have all the resources. We have the gold, we have the diamonds, we have the cobalt, we have the platinum, we have
the brain
everything.
power.
We have the intelligence of the people the willingness of the people to be able to do any and everything that's necessary to build the country and the continent to the degree that it could and should be. But why is it not? Why is it that we have to continue to look to the West? We have to continue to be influenced by the European way when we have everything that they wish that they had and they're claiming. So yes, there is a complaint. There is a complaint.
And please understand, I know we keep saying this, but particularly you, it's easy. Remove yourself. Because again, you got to understand now, we're leaving people that's coming from the diaspora. You got to understand, making the decision to take this migration, to take this exodus, is a battle. We fighting. We're fighting the system, we're fighting the norm, we're fighting our families, we're fighting everything that we used to know. It's not just so easy to pick up and move. You are shutting down everything that was you. Everything that made you who you are today. You are leaving it. And over there, we had to fight for everything. So now you're getting people that's coming here. What we're accustomed to is fighting for everything. That's just how we are. That's what we do. That's what we had to do. Do we want to continue to do it? No. It would be nice to be received with open arms. And we're not talking about people at the airport doing a little dance, welcoming us in. We're talking about open arms where if you want citizenship, you got it. No more visas for you. This is your home, your home. What you want to do? What can we help you with? Let us have some steps for you when you come back. How to help you migrate into this society. Those are the open arms that we've been talking about. But instead, we get faced with, oh, stop complaining, just move here and appreciate that you are able to do it because other people can't. You're able to buy a plane ticket, other people can't. So just appreciate it. That's not what this channel is about. We are here helping people to figure out what's best for them, to make their own choices, but they can have real live choices, not just the fluff, not just the beauty, not just, oh, it's so beautiful here and the food is so ripe, you should come. These are real issues that you're faced with when you do come. And yes, all the other stuff, the fluffy stuff is real, it's true, it's beautiful, it's lovely, we love it, but there's still some stank that come along with it. Now, if you want the fluffy stuff, go find a different channel. It's that easy. Don't aggravate those that want to hear the real. And no, I'm not nice. So don't say that one because I'll fall right into that. Trust me.
You give her permission.
Don't,
Give her permission to
he's
be.
the nice guy. I'm not nice. I already know it.
Look, when we got married and we were living together in the neighborhood and people, and I'm waving and she looking at me like, what are you, she's like, oh, what planet are you from? Where you waving to? You don't know these people.
Even here, I'm like, well, we trying to get out the door. He's still there talking. I'm like, really, dude?
Oh my God.
I'm not nice.
Anyway, she's
I don't
sweet.
even want to be.
She's sweet. Anyway, so and I guess we'll be wrapping soon. Because I think we reached what we needed to reach for the most part, but it's bringing me to think about.
Look, Bikisio Cecilia, he wants to call in.
Want to call in? I don't think that'd be a good idea at the moment. But we can probably have you on. You can just our description, and you'll see the information. You can call us or text us when we're done.
We just have to do that one day. We just have to allow.
Yeah. We'll open it up.
We might have to open it up and see.
I have to learn how to do that.
If you guys can behave,
I
don't know.
But I like what our sister Deborah says here. The difference is Black Americans are looking for a relationship built on familial ties. Africans are interested in transactional relationship with us because they don't know our history. And I think you're right. I think that's where we're missing. We're missing that. What we're looking for. And the rest, what is the word? The reciprocity is it's different.
I hope you didn't ask me.
It's a little
What's the
different.
word?
So that's a good point. And I think
Excuse
the
me, they're
ending
gonna get
part,
us flagged.
the end of it, what you said is about having the proper knowledge of one another. We're, I think that, we're fortunate because we have been without the knowledge of who we were. We did a lot of searching and reading, and books were written and studies were done to prove that we are of African origin and this is our ancestral land. And so we've done a lot of due diligence and learning a lot about the different African uh, cultures. Now, albeit they may have been more historical and not necessary, but nonetheless, we, I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of books, as we already know, that deal with uh, the African culture, the African history, and how we're connected and tied to it. Now, on the other hand, I'm not too sure as far as Africans, as far as what books are available or what uh, structured learning is established to know about us. Now, I had a conversation briefly with when we were in Rwanda, and your friend who come, is her friend had come. She's Ghanaian, and we were sitting there at the table, and I had to ask the question. I asked this question. I said, "What is it that they teach you about us when we were once here and we left?" And she said, "Not much." I'm just paraphrasing. She said they talk more of that particular tribe than they talk about what occurred, and they talk about the levels of the tribes that were existing at that particular time, but not much, if anything, about us who were taken. They don't get that. So I don't understand why. I don't understand why that is. But we're here, and we're gonna, however it's looked at, if it's looked at as complaining or being informed and educated, there's a responsibility that we have to ourselves because we have to exist, and we are in a line with time that we have to receive reparation, however it comes, whether it's money or whatever it is, we have to receive a form of repair, and that's what we're in the process of repairing.
And the question is, and it's not, we're not taking any stance. The question is, though, that people have asked, should the West be the only ones responsible for reparations?
No, I'm gonna
Okay,
answer it.
so
I'm gonna
we're just
say
gonna leave it
no.
right there. But
Who?
Baruti Katimbo has asked, kidnap comment, that African Americans are grouping the continent in the theft, but really should take aim at West Africa. If so, do you think that African Americans should make a fresh start and link with East Africa and South Africa? I don't understand the question, but I think that any anyone in the diaspora should find what country works for them. Just because most of us came from West Africa, like you guys said, Africa got borders because of colonization. I've heard history about the Fulani people and other tribes that was in one part of the continent, and because of whatever reasons, it could be religious, it could be war, it could be tribal territory, they had migrated to another part of the continent. So when you do your DNA test, you're going to see, oh, you're part of the Fulani tribe. Well, some of them started in East Africa and migrated towards Ghana and not Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, and what's the other one? The two words next to Ghana, where JT was.
Oh, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. You'll see those all those blood, but the people migrated before they started this colonization and putting borders up in every different. So for us, we say we don't really care where the bloodline lies. We know it comes from here, it comes from the continent, and you choose where you want to go. That's the part of the freedom. That's part of you being a free Black man. You choose where you want to live. Don't let nothing dictate where you're supposed to be at. You make that choice. You do the research, you find out what works for you and your family or your goals, and you make it happen. Period. So I don't think you should have to go to West Africa. I have no desire to go to West Africa, unfortunately.
Mm.
We'll probably go because he want to see the slave trade, see the dungeon. But I have no I have no desire to go there. My spirit calls me here. South Africa, this y'all already know how we feel about that. But I want to go. There's so much I want to see, I want to explore. But to say that Black people should go there, why?
I mean,
Like that should be your choice? No, I don't think so. I think you should go where you want to go and where
yeah, where
you
you
can thrive.
right, where you want. I mean, to go and to visit, is one thing. If you want to, relocate. But I like this. What Black Class Wars says: Africa is a
Yeah.
denial of its role regarding slave trade. Yeah, and I had that initial thought too, because I didn't really like the term kidnap Africans until having a conversation with my wife and kind of put things in perspective. You have two sides of it, I think. You have those who were the collaborators as far as in discussion, communication, and planning, but those that were actually taken had no idea. They didn't know anything about, so they were taken unwillingly against their force because the policy was made, the planning, the handshaking, and all that stuff was already set. And they was like, "Hey, we hands off. They're gonna go ahead and just take you, and we're gonna turn our backs and look the other way." So yes, two sides of that thing. Kidnap for those that didn't have a clue what was going down, and no one came to our aid to prevent us from being taken. And then there were those who were part of actually planning that whole get down. So, but yeah, I like that. That's yeah, it's true. So I mean, this is listen, 400 years is it can't be undone overnight. It won't be done overnight. You're
Mhm.
right. And
Oh, Pap D's in the house.
but my thing is, listen, as Black people from America, time is well overdue that we have to take control of our destiny, man. We have to determine for ourselves and give to ourselves what it is that we justly deserve. And it's been given to us already, but that's a whole nother discussion at a different whatever. But that's just where I am right now. Citizenship, I can take it or let it alone. Me personally, I just got to be honest with you.
I think people should focus more on. I'll tell you something personal that I'm learning and I'm watching. Um, a lot of the single brothers that are coming to the continent here, Rhonda, everywhere we meet them at, they did something right. Single and married, but they did something right. They made sure that they have something to fall back on. They made sure that they were financially capable to take care of themselves
Mm.
every month, anywhere they decide to live. And because they did something right, whether it was military, whether it's retirement, pension, sold their house, whatever the case may be, they chose, they chose where they want to live the rest of their life. They chose Africa. They chose to come to Kenya, to Rwanda, to Tanzania, Uganda. They chose. And it's amazing. And I'm like, wow, because today is different than yesterday.
Mm.
I never even had a desire to move out the country until maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I never had a desire to move to Africa, period, until we did.
Mm.
So we never went into the smart planning. You guys are watching, you're planning, you're studying, you're researching, you're doing it right. Don't let, okay, this one offers citizenship, this one doesn't. This one says I have a bloodline connection, that one says it doesn't. This one, to me, that's the wrong thing to choose. I have, that's the wrong thing to choose, because whatever that is on that paper does not dictate who you are as a person, how you'll be able to survive, how you're going to be able to live, how can you thrive. What you really need to sustain you has nothing to do with the paper that you're trying to get or that you have. You are doing the research, you're taking the steps, just plan your steps accordingly. Don't let nobody tell you where you're supposed to be. The whole continent, the whole world is ours. We're supposed to be wherever it is that we want to go, wherever it is that God leads you to, wherever it is your spirit is calling you to go, that's where you're supposed to be.
The earth belongs to the righteous and the fullness thereof.
Yeah.
Yes. So with that family, it's always good, to have these. I'm gonna call this one a fireside chat. It's always good because we have to come to some type of understanding. We say this, we don't have to. I mean, we're not. It's not gonna always be agreeable.
Right.
It's not gonna. It's not.
There's
That's
no
not
there's no
realistic.
yes or no answers,
No, it's
no right
not.
answers.
It's not real. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that, uh, we are the original people, and it's somewhere in some space or time, we're gonna just have to get to a point where we can have that level of camaraderie, if you will, to be able to have a genuine, uh, uh, peaceful relationship with proper understanding, without the colonial or European influence, and looking at each other through those particular lenses. We had a lot to learn as well,
We've
probably
been
more
learning a
so.
lot.
We've been learning a whole lot. So,
Yeah.
but this is necessary to be able to present these things, and really look at it for what it is and talk about it and talk about it. And hopefully it could be something of a way of enlightenment, and it could be a corrective measure on both sides of the coin. And it can lead us to something that at the end of it all, we could say, man, you know what? We made it, man. We here together. My African brother and African sister, I see you for who you are. You see me for who I am. Man, we embrace, and let's do this thing. And we can do it without the aid and the assistance, or I should say, without the interference of anything and anyone outside. So, with that said, I found the Abuja Proclamation. Just put it in the Google.
Okay, well, let's see that.
But I can't, which it's only 3 pages. So, Abuja, Abuja Proclamation. Look it up and let's see what it says. I can't, it's too small of a print
Yeah,
for
maybe we
me.
could put it in the
So
comments
I'll
if they
probably
don't flag us.
put it in the comments or put it in the community or something like that.
Yeah, sure. We didn't say we didn't agree with moving to South Africa. We said, for the question was, do we think that the diaspora should move to certain areas, South Africa, Ghana, and somewhere else? And I said, no, they should have the right and the freedom to move to any part of the continent that they want. I don't think we should have to move to South Africa because it's so much closer to America. That ain't what we come here for. So for me, no, we should not have to. But if we choose to, we have the right to do so. That's what I was saying. Oh, Natasha saying Sunny turns 25.
Happy birthday to Sonny. Y'all, let's all sing it.
Sunny ain't even on.
It's all right with the Stevie
Nah,
Wonder.
nah,
Happy
nah,
birthday to
no.
you. Sonny,
So
happy birthday, Sonny.
again, if you guys like what you heard today or didn't like, but appreciate the fact that we are bold enough to come out here and have these conversations and would like to send financial blessings, please hit up our ZELLE that's posted at the top, as well. She just put the banner up.
I'm sorry. I just get so if I keep
I
forgetting
was
to put the
sad, like
banner
they
up.
don't like us. No one
I
sent,
just put the
no one
banner up.
sent, not even $1. No Zelle, no Apple Pay, no PayPal. But please, I don't know why every week someone sends something to that old Cash App.
Don't send anything to
And
the
you know
Cash
they
App,
flagged
please.
us on Cash App. They took it, they stole it, it's gone. So we no longer have Cash App. Don't even remember the name. but we do have that ZELLE. We do have that ZELLE is 470-429-9570. Please, in the Mpesa. For our locals, our
Impatient.
M-Pesa is posted. Please, if you want to bless us that way, we appreciate it. And if you guys want to come to the event on Sunday, we're trying to turn in our numbers tomorrow. We're trying to finalize everything. So please, please, please send in your registration fees so we can get you on there. If you want to sponsor some people, we have locals that are trying to come. You could sponsor some locals to come out. We are definitely want to be able to have a mixed crowd so we can bring the locals and the diaspora. And we have a lot of people. We have people coming in, flying in this week. We're finishing up a contract with the relocation services. We have that to look forward to show you guys this week. Can't wait to show you the event on Sunday. The trip we have on Monday again is 3,000 if you want to go to the historical center as well. 3,000 shilling, which is just about $20. The historical site as well as Lake Magadi. Please send that also. You can send it in and text us your name so we could put you down for that and send you the meetup location for that trip. That's on the 25th. And that's all I have.
Well, I think that's all we both have. We thank you, as always. Comments, everything. We appreciate all the comments, even the ones that weren't as nice.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Y'all be trying to make me come out of my sweetness.
We appreciate you guys for taking the time out. So please, for those who are on the other side, early in the day, I think still enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your family.
We might have to do a survey. What time is better, 10 or 11 Eastern?
Well, y'all let us know. Put it in the well, we put it with something in the
We'll do a
comments.
survey because we don't know. We just
But just enjoy the rest of your day. Have a
Yeah.
great time. We thank you for spending this little bit of time with us. Those of us on this side of the world, the evening is upon us. Hope your day was great. Have a great evening. For those of us who are observing Ramadan, it's almost time for Maghrib prayer and iftar, so we can break fast and give thanks and show gratitude to the Most High, and continue to move forward with a successful Ramadan. So, with that said, thank you, and we hope to see you next Sunday, God willing, and hopefully we'll have some material of experience and content uh, this week. Hopefully, we'll see. All right. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.